The Dallas Mavericks have pretty much embarrassed the Utah Jazz this series. They've 30'd them and beat them twice without their superstar. They're posting the 4th highest offensive rating these playoffs. So how exactly are the Mavericks dissecting the Jazz's defense, which was known as an all-time great defense? To understand that, we need to know the Jazz's defensive philosophy. In short, it's all about keeping Gobert in the paint and funneling everything towards him. It's a very successful strategy, especially against teams that love running isolation and can't put out a lot of shooters on the floor. The Mavericks though run a 5-out motion offense, filling the floor with shooters. This has proven to be disastrous for the Jazz defense. Here is a simple high screen. The Mavericks know the Jazz do not like to switch Gobert onto the perimeter and like for him to sag heavy. As soon as Brunson goes around the screen and feels Royce going under, that's a clean look for 3. Here's another high screen, in which Royce goes over this time and Rudy is playing drop. The roll separates the two and it's a clean look from 3. The Jazz's philosophy is to always fight through the screen when Rudy is involved. It's their way of denying the 3 and forcing them into Rudy. This can really wear and tire the Jazz perimeter players out, especially when you have to fight over to guard great 3-point shooters. The philosophy also becomes confusing when communication is not on point. This is a side pick and roll, and Bogey should be in the perimeter as he's already directed Powell to Gobert, but he forgets and that's an open look for 3. This was the play most commonly abused by Brunson during his dominant performance. High pick and roll and Royce goes over top, while Powell rolls hard. Gobert can't commit to both. If he picks up Brunson or leaves his feet, that's an easy dish to Powell. If he commits to Powell, that's an open shot at the basket. So he picks the middle and Brunson seals Royce, gets Gobert deep into the paint and gets a good look at the basket. Luka and Brunson constantly put Gobert in a position where he's in the paint but cannot make a meaningful contest. The biggest drawback to the 5-out motion offense for the Jazz is Gobert's man can shoot. Here Brunson runs to the rim hard, forcing Gobert to collapse, leaving his man open, and that's Maxi Kleber, who's shooting 57% from 3 this series. Now, Utah learns and makes the adjustment, with Gobert closer to Kleber, but the Jazz players just don't know how to guard the perimeter, and it's an easy layup. Their perimeter defense is awful. They've become so reliant on Gobert, they're terrible at keeping their man in front of them. This specifically applies to Mitchell. Opponents shoot roughly 11% better when they're guarded by him. So here, Gobert is forced to help, and Brunson makes this ridiculous pass. The whole issue with the Jazz defensive scheme is when penetration happens, a 3-point shooter is left wide open and a good playmaker like Luka, Brunson, and even Dinwiddie will find you. Here, Dinwiddie just penetrates, uses an eye fake, and gets his teammate a wide open 3. Combine that with a motion action the Mavs run, like the Spain pick and roll, and it just leads to so much confusion with the Jazz defense. This whole series, the Mavs were able to get a clean look from 3 whenever they wanted. This is Earn Your Ranks, where we only talk about ball. Signing off.